Hi everyone, it's Will on 5th November 2024, Election Day in the US, and naturally every big election goes down in the history books at least as a record, but this year I think it is a truly historical event and people all over the world are watching. So if I do another video tomorrow, I may either be elated or devastated. We'll see. I'm going to go to a friend's house this evening to watch as the returns come in. I, of course, am on the West Coast in the Northwest. And the state I'm in and the other West Coast states don't really count, to be honest, because they're all so-called blue states. So they're safe for the Democratic vote. Anyway, I'm nervous, other people are nervous, and I decided I might as well do another diary video today, even though I did one yesterday. So this is the 17th October 1907 in Dmitri's day in Moscow. It's a Wednesday and we only have one diary entry left for 1907, so that will be the 18th, which I may even do tomorrow. We might as well get through these and go back to 1921. I'll be sorry to leave Dmitri at age 16 behind. I've enjoyed these so much, though I think it was more fun when he was 14, and he's definitely matured now. I guess 14-year-olds are still more child than adult, and 16-year-olds have made the transition to being more adult than child. And in the diary entry of yesterday, Dmitri talked about going to the theater on Thursday. Well, surprise, surprise, he got that wrong. It must have been just a slip of the pen at that moment, because it is, as I said, a Wednesday, and he's going to the theater today. So let's dive in. I got up a little earlier than usual this morning and did homework, then had coffee with Tyotia, after which I went back to my rooms and did more homework until 9 o'clock, when I had lessons until 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, I went on a walk outside with Mr. Velter. It was disgusting. Wind, rain, cold, in a word, beastly, so the walk lasted only a half an hour. At 12:30, there was a prayer service on the occasion of Baroque, and then lunch. From 2 to 5, I had lessons, and then I did homework for tomorrow. Dinner was at 7 o'clock, and then it was off to the theater. We had already seen Sadko last year, but we went so that Wilhelm could see it. He seemed to like it. Tomorrow I'm going to get up late, 12:30, so he's being a good student and doing his homework, doing additional homework that day after his lessons were over, so that he wouldn't have to get up early and do his homework on Thursday morning. He's out so late. This is rare. He's writing his diary entry at 12:30, and it's a little surprising that Ella allowed that, but maybe things are a little relaxed while Wilhelm is there visiting, Maria's fiancé. So, yes, nose to the grindstone with his schoolwork and homework. The weather was very bad. Mr. Velter is back. We haven't seen him for quite a while. He was Dmitri's favorite tutor back when he was staying at Tsarskaya Selo. And as you know, he's been taking his walks in Moscow either with Mr. Cook or with Laming himself. But today we have Mr. Welter, and they don't go to the Neskuchnaya Palace grounds. Instead, they go just outside, Dmitri says, on the streets. Today I went on a walk along the streets. Prepositions are hard, and I wasn't sure what sounded right in English. Would you say I went outside and went on a walk along the street or on the streets? I don't know, so I just put outside. I went on a walk outside, so you see some of the translator's dilemma there. Weather's very bad, so it was brief. Apparently there was nobody out to run up and point today, as when he first made his appearance outside in his Horse Guards uniform way back when, and kids were pointing at him. All right, so now we come to this mystery of Borok. And it's spelled B-O-R-O-K in Latin letters. That's a direct transliteration from the Cyrillic letters. Nothing has to be adapted. There's a prayer service on the occasion of Borok. A Moleben is actually a Thanksgiving service. It's not a prayer service when somebody is in distress. I think it's a prayer service to be thankful when something good has happened. And so what is Baruch? Well, it can be a surname, but you wouldn't phrase it quite the way Dmitri was if it was a surname. He says it's on the occasion of Baruch. And so it's not a church holiday. I don't know Russian ecclesiastical language well, but if it was some kind of church event, then I would have found it when I went and looked it up. And instead, what I found was that it was a name of a locality, and a very popular one. If you can think of a name that you have in the U.S., that you see all over the place, in every state you have a town by this name. Well, apparently that was the case in the Russian Empire, not only in Russia itself, but in Belarus, in Ukraine, and even further east, and all over the place. I was able to find a list, a Russian list online, giving the details on every single municipality that is called Baruch, and there were dozens of them, multiple dozens of them. But so I there was no way I could look at each and every one and see if there was some threatening catastrophic event that then did not happen, that everybody had been worried about, and then when it didn't happen, they all went to church to thank God for not allowing it to happen. But anyway, that seems to have been what the issue was, and then it's back to lessons and more homework. So they have dinner an hour early today. Dinner time was usually at 8 o'clock. And then they go to the theater. So what are they seeing? Well, they're going to another opera. It's called Sadko. I'm glad I looked it up, because I now know that the second syllable is stressed, which I would have been more inclined to say Sadko. And it was an opera. Sadko was a figure, a so-called bogatyr, or heroic, larger-than-life kind of figure from the days of legends of Rus, of Russia. And yeah, there was this opera about him. The composer was Rimsky-Korsakov. I guess it's just really not in the repertoire in the West, and never really has been. I've certainly never come across it. But it premiered it was produced for the first time, I think, at the end of the 19th century, 1898, I want to say, but it premiered in Moscow in 1906 at the Bolshoi Theater, and apparently it was successful enough to still be going on in 1907. And so Dmitri mentions that they had gone off and seen it the year before, but they want Wilhelm to see it. So it would have been a very patriotic kind of thing about this heroic Russian figure. And yeah, Wilhelm seemed to like it. And yeah, what more can be said? Nothing really. So come back for the very last one if you've been going along on this journey with me, where we are Dmitri's confidants in a matter of speaking. We want to see it through with him. So yeah, either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, I'll be doing a video for that one, and I hope to see you then. Bye.